One of the coolest things in any sort of game is when you get to play as a boss character. Now, Yokai Watch started this in Yokai Watch 2 with a playable Sproink, Slimeamander, and SP Snaggerjack. I forgot their names for a second. And then eventually Wobble Walk in the, was it? No, it wasn't Psychic Spectres. It was just post-game of Yokai Watch 2. Well, the Moon Rabbit Crew update for Yokai Watch Blasters expanded upon this by giving us playable forms of the newly introduced Red J, or Rubius J, and Hardy Hound. And then the Plus Plus mod has expanded upon this even further, with Inferno recolors of the original three, as well as Captain Thunder. Now, well, and Hinozals. Captain Thunder is a pretty interesting case of a yokai because he's good, but there's really no reason you should ever play this character. Not because he's bad, but because he's just severely outclassed. In order to unlock Captain Thunder, you'll have to be able to beat Lunar Captain Thunder. Yes, we started with Hinozal, and now we're going to Captain Thunder. In order to fight him, you need a Moonstone, which can be bought from the shop for 200,000 Oni Orbs, which isn't too bad. He is of the Moon Rabbit Crew prize. I feel like a lot of these are Moon Rabbits, I promise. And then you can also get a Moon Shard if you just want to do sure jackpot. If you don't get him, you get 100,000 Oni Orbs extra. So it's pretty easy to get him. It's just Lunar Captain Thunder is kind of a pain because he just flies around so much. Captain Thunder is an A-rank fighter yokai of the Shady tribe. He has a base HP stat of 407, a base strength stat of 241, a base spirit stat of 175, which seems a little strange, but actually does kind of work with one of his moves, but not in the way you think. A defense stat of 117 and is of the normal speed tier. His basic attack is shot number 1. This is a 50 base power, a 1 second cooldown basic attack. It's fine, except Emperor shot number 1, which is Emperor Sapion's basic attack, is the same thing, but with 0.2 seconds less of cooldown. So literally just an inferior version of that, which is kind of whatever. But it works well with his skill, which is Sniper. Sniper gives a higher crit chance the farther you are away. So as long as you're far enough away from the enemy, he will have a pretty easy chance to crit, which obviously leads him to want to have crit support, or crit damage, you know, cool stuff like that. His first learnable move is Charge Shot. Charge Shot has 80 base power, but 200 when charged, gives 14 soul meter, but 24 when charged, has 5 seconds of cooldown no matter what, and requires 2 seconds to charge. This is a fine move, it just doesn't really need to be on him because he's got his basic attack, which is good enough. Like, if you want higher DPS, you can bring it, but I feel like some of his other moves just offer a little bit more utility. However, if you wanted him to just be pure far-away DPS, this is a nice option to bring instead of one of these moves. I don't know. His second learnable move is a charged attack. Not charge shot, he has 2 charging attacks. It also has 80 base power uncharged, 200 when charged, gives 20 soul meter no matter what, has 5 seconds of cooldown, and has 1 second of charge. There's no reason to ever bring this. If you want a charging move, bring Charge Shot. And then one of his other 2 moves has more use. It just does. His third learnable move is Invincible Stance. You press the button, and you become invincible for 5 seconds, and it has 20 seconds of cooldown. He doesn't have a dodge move, so this is really your only evasion in a fight against something like Shogun King, maybe the Robanyans. You know, one of those fights, you kind of need some way to not take damage, and this is his only way to do it. Although if you want to use his fourth move, which is Sparking Shock, then you can use that too. This is an AoE stun move with 250 base power, 30 soul meter that it gives when you hit it, and has 15 seconds of cooldown. The only problem? It's a spirit attack. And in case you aren't paying attention, Captain Thunder is a physical attacker, so he has a spirit attack when you bring this. So that's another reason why Charge Shot can be a little bit better. But I feel like because I'm spamming the basic attack a whole lot, this stun, which I'm not going to try to use since it's a whole spirit attack, it's not going to do that much. I feel like I can just safely bring it in case I need to do something. Maybe I'm fighting the Robanyans and I want to stop the little children from doing something for a little bit. I can stun them all and we'll be perfectly fine. It's basically just a worse version of Hinozal's shocking idea. His ultimate is Wide Thunder Beam. It has 4 hits with 150 base power each, and is a giant beam straight forward. So, he wants to be run with crit stuff, so you bring Oni Smasher Sky and the Soul Terrier Soul. But why would you not just bring the boy, aka the best yokai in the entire game, undoubtedly, being Emperor Usapion? They're the same thing, except Emperor Usapion has 683 strength right here. Meanwhile, Thunder has 641. He has a faster basic attack than Thunder does, and he's got better moves than Thunder does, because he has a fallback attack, which is just better than Invincible Stance. He has Brilliant Barrage, which is absurdly broken, and then he's got Lightning Beam, which isn't as good, and then he's got something else that, oh yeah, he also has Charge Shot. His ultimate has 8 hits. It has less total base power, but it doesn't really matter when Brilliant Barrage kind of just makes up for that difference. Emperor Usapion is kind of just better, and Emperor of Usapion is of the fast speed tier, so it's easier to run around with him. So, yeah, I'm not sure why you would want to bring Captain Thunder, because Emperor Usapion is essentially just Captain Thunder, but outright better. Like, it's kind of a shame because he's good. That Thunder's pretty dang good. Why would you not use Emperor Usapion? But if you want to rep your big boss swag, well then this is a decent setup for you. So we got Whisper right here to give 10% more crit rate for us. He also has the Whisper Soul, and so does everyone else. So Captain Thunder, when I'm far away, has a 90% chance to crit, which means that we have a really good chance to get crazy, crazy damage. We also have his defense drop for a little bit more multiplier bonuses stuff, which is also why I have Emignon here. Emignon has the big attack boost and is a healer, so it could work. He's got a bulky setup. And then we have Tengenma here. I didn't really know who else to put here because no one else really fit. I could have brought Princess Pearl, but I use her all the time, so I just brought him because, well, this character just needs to not die, and Tengenma does a really good job at not dying. So why don't we just go ahead and take a look and see just what kind of power the captain really has to offer. So here we have Robonyan 3000. Now Robonyan 3000 moves around quite a bit, which really does suck. For most characters, not Captain Thunder though. However, this is when I should probably talk about the main weakness and why I don't really like this character. His basic attack sucks. But I thought you said it was just a slightly worse version of Emperor Sapion's. That's when you look at it through a data lens. When you look at it through a gameplay lens, as you can see, his animation lasts basically as long as the cooldown. So I have a whole second after I use my basic attack to where I'm basically just frozen in time. So if, for example, I were to shoot and he were to do something dangerous, I'd just be dead, like this. As you can see, I was forced to take that. However, if I played Emperor Usapion, I would have been able to just run right out of there. Or fallback attack, because, you know, fallback attack is really freaking good. So, he's essentially just a clunkier, much worse version of Emperor Usapion. So we're going to try to stun, get these little robots out of here. Because I hate these little guys. And if we could just remove one of them super easily, I would rather have removed both of them, but I guess not. So as you can see, he's doing it again, so I'll just have to stun them again. You know, kind of sucks for you and your family, but doesn't suck for me. So we're going to ultimate. We're going to do a crap ton of damage. Got crits on all 4 of those. So he's going to Dark Top, and Dark Top definitely does suck to fight against. So we're just going to go Invincible. We're going to run all the way over here, and we're going to stun. Now, sadly, this Robonyan got out of the way, and there, as you can see, I took damage. So that's not very good, but hopefully we'll be able to manage and survive around it. Because, oh great, would you look at that? He hit me again through my invincibility after it ran out and took away my getaway plush. So that kind of sucks, but hopefully Whisper and I will be able to safely make it out of here alive. So we're just going to hope and pray that we can get out of here. We're going to stun. He's going to Belly Blaster, but we're going to Invincible Stance. And I can already tell he's going to summon little Robonyans at any second, so we have to pay attention. We have to pay attention to the counterclockwise motions, because that would really suck to get hit with. So we're going to stun, and I'm dead. Oh, I'm alive. somehow. I don't know how, but... So we're going to need to really, really hope that we can we can survive without a Robonyan showing up. So with just a little bit more effort, we're going to stun, and that's it. There we go. I'm going to make myself invincible, just in case. And now we're going to Res Whisper. So he's fine. It's just, literally, he's just the worst version of Emperor Usapion. That's really all there is to say about him. He's fine on paper. I mean, he's better than Usapion B, so I mean, there's something. But a lot of characters are better than Usapion B. Regular Usapion, I would say, is probably a little bit better than Captain Thunder. Like, obviously, Thunder does way more damage, but there's a lot of utility you can do with Usapion. I'll probably give him his own video, because there's a lot you can do with Usapion. So next up, we are fighting Cat Kraydel. Now, I know you're thinking, Sprychan, why are you fighting Cat Kraydel? Cat Kraydel is one of the easiest bosses in the entire game. Well, Cat Kraydel actually does something pretty unique. And that is the fact that we could just run around here and take a ton of damage. But what we can mainly do is shoot these eyes from afar. Now I can go invincible. And as you can see, I can just pressure these eyes from all the way across the map. So we're going to get this shot up here. And now we're going to do this. And then this tornado is going to be here, so we're just going to dodge out of here. Another tornado, so we're just going to watch out for it. Now we can get this stun off. Go invincible at the proper time. And now we're just going to run back here. And we're going to shoot. So in all actuality, I can just shoot these eyes from here. Shoot it back here. Persevere, are you good? I guess so. You tank that like a champ. We're going to run around here. They can just narrowly avoid that. Oh, no. Then we're going to run back here. Oh, perfectly avoid everything. And as you can see, we can kind of just keep this up. We don't have to, like, focus the eyes purely. We can just hit them every now and then, and we'll be fine. Because we can do, like, a crap ton of their damage at a time, so... So I can actually shock the eyes, which is hilarious. And now we can just force this. Turn on the turbo mode button and just shoot for 1,000 damage per hit. It'd be even more if I had Eminion to buff me, but I do not. So if in case you run and have to, you know, hide, maybe for some reason you can't get into the alignment circle, you can just, you know, invincible stance. I'm losing my train of thought because I'm kind of just spacing out. I'm not really paying that much attention to this boss. So we're going to get that shot off. Going to fire off this ultimate. And do almost we did over 8,000 damage right there because of Eminion. So he definitely has the capability to do some wacky damage. And as you can see, I could just invincible stance if I wasn't going to make it. Oh no! All my allies are dead. Whatever. It'll be fine. So we're going to get this off. Get that off. And I'm sadly going to take damage, but it's not the biggest deal. I'm actually going to shock this eye, just so that way it can't shoot anything at me. And we're just going to shoot it from afar. As you can see, I'm very, very big and chunky. So I'm actually just going to invincible stance, and now I'm perfectly fine. So we're just going to keep shooting, hope for a crit. And if we do get a crit, we'll just win. So, big luck right there. Nice, nice, nice. Very lucky. Without a dodge character, Cat Kraydel can be a little bit difficult, but not when you're Captain Thunder. Captain Thunder just kind of got it in the bag. We almost lost there, but I had a whole getaway flush I completely forgot about, and I only lost the first one to my own stupidity. So, yeah. I mean, Cat Kraydel is one of the easiest bosses in the game, so it's not the complete easiest boss. There are some easier ones, but I mean, Captain Thunder can still put in almost over 8,000 damage. Crazy. So why don't we finish off by fighting Ultra Shogun King? Now I've changed up the team a little bit to essentially just be a bunch of healers that can stop themselves from dying. Katsu-chan's also here for a bunch of defense support because even when they can heal, they kind of just don't do it very often. And They like to run in front of the enemy, like you see with, what's-his-face, Elder Boom over there. So their whole purpose is to just keep each other from dying while I sit back here and do the damage. Now, if I could get a crit, we could actually be able to do some pretty nice DPS. But when there's only one character, it's not really that crazy. So anytime he does an attack, you kind of want to run around and make sure that you're not going to get gravity slashed. And then if you are, you're just going to invincible stance. So it's just kind of a waiting game, like this, as you can see. Perfectly avoid it. Now we're going to get a stun off. And now, my allies are safe. Very cool. Give them a second to heal themselves. And Katsu-chan has buffed up some defense, at least for Percy, so that's pretty neat. So if you don't have your invincible stance, you'll need to like run around a little bit because it just doesn't have that fast of a cooldown, and you can't really afford to run the Cicada Soul since you want to have DPS. And without the soul boosting your crit damage, his damage really just kind of sucks. So it's a little bit difficult to get going, but there we go. We've got, see if I can get a buff. Katsu-chan. Full team buff. Oh no! I took damage, I took too much. Even with that debuff, that's just how hard this ultimate hits, because you're supposed to avoid it pretty easily. You wanna know what would have sucked? What if the CPU used invincible stance during that? I don't know if he did, but it'd be hilarious if he did. So even with that, well, yeah, we're gonna take damage because, yeah, that's another big problem with his move being super slow. But thankfully, we're able to get just almost assured crits on his ultimate, which is pretty nice. Like, I don't know if we've ever gotten it to not crit, which is hilarious. So that's a very nice, just 6,000 damage right there. Super cool. Oh, I kind of want that Great Orb. Nice, great. And another ultimate. There's no crits there. If we got crits there, that would have been crazy. But I don't think we're actually going to be able to even take out any of these souls, even with Great Change, because, oh, with Great Change we can. But without it, I don't think we'd be able to, because it's kind of a little bit of a pain to get 666. I mean, actually, we can do it. We can easily do it. So Captain Thunder actually can do some pretty nice damage against these things, which is very cool. So we're going to stun this one, and then shoot this one. We stopped him a little bit. Stopped him from getting a couple of them. He'll be Red Sword, which is a little bit of a problem, but not the worst thing ever. So we got a nice invincible stance right there. Pretty cool. We're going to shock him, so that way our allies can heal, and so that way they can heal me. I'm actually going to do my ultimate right here, because that's going to res everyone. Because Persevere is just really good. And as you can see, I'm dead again. So, gonna kind of need to not die. But Percy's kind of struggling with that. We're going to get a, try to get a circle heal. Oh no, Percy! I just gotta heal myself. If I keep myself alive, we'll be fine. Because I'm decently tanky. And I kind of do need Elder Bloom to be back here. So we're not going to be able to get the stun off, sadly, but it's kind of whatever. So we'll just try again. So as you can see, the stupid CPU really likes to just do invincible stance, when he really shouldn't have. If I could have just saved that, I would have been able to avoid this 100%, but now I have to kind of actually react. Which sucks, because I'm not very good at reacting. I barely got it there. So now we're going to get a stun off, just cuz. Give Katsu-chan's attack a little bit more time to refresh. And as you can see, I literally have not done any damage to him because of his ultimate and this charging back up. So let's get on the ready to just do this as much as we can. Kind of take these out if I can, because that would be very nice. Anytime you miss a crit, it's almost assuredly death. So, yeah, kind of hope you can get them. Just hope we can get it. And we can't get it on that one, so we're going to skip over to this one. So we actually can pretty safely get the stun off here. We're going to Sultimate for a crap ton of damage. Super nice. Katsu-chan has fainted. So we're going to need to make sure that we're safe. You know, as always. I can actually Invincible Stance. And shock him. Oh, I could have shocked him. Would have been really nice if I could get that shock off. I just realized I actually don't have a way to stun him, so even if Captain Thunder was alive that first time, we wouldn't have been able to do anything. Which really sucks, but whatever. So we're going to get another Invincible Stance. Another shock off. Run away as fast as I can. And yeah, if I had my Sultimate, we'd be able to stun him, but I just don't have it. Kind of sucks. I actually do want to get a huge buff off. And there we go. So now I've got a ginormous buff. I completely forgot that Katsu-chan even has a buffing Sultimate. So, and I have my Invincible Stance ready, so I'll be perfectly fine. The moon is back. I like that he like perfectly waited, so that way I could do my buff and I just lose most of the stats. Just cause. So we're going to Invincible Stance. And yeah, I just lost this ultimate, which does suck, obviously. But, I mean, it's not the biggest deal in the world. Because I now have the defense buff, so even though I'm incredibly slow, we should be fine. Oh no! So we're gonna have to hope and pray. Okay, good. One of them's nearby. Which means that, oh god. Okay, I need them to hit it, so that way we can stop him from getting buffed. Gotta hope and pray. I can shoot. We cannot. Looks like we're gonna have to get the next one. Oh, come on, hit him. Hit it. Crit. Yeah, nah, it's kind of a lost cause. Yeah, it's just a lost cause. So what I'm going to do is shoot a ginormous beam. And now Invincible Stance. I barely lived. Oh no. Just gotta hope and pray I can survive. If this debuff would go away, oh no, Elder Bloom has ascended. That's actually a really big problem for me. So I have my Invincible Stance ready, and if needed. I like when he's like this, I can start shooting him. Oh, he is definitely going to jump over towards me. Invincible Stance. Come on, man. Stun! Let's go! Captain Thunder! Bringing the power! Let them all die and show them who the real Plague Boss is. So yeah, Captain Thunder, he can definitely get it done if you have like other players and not stupid computers. But if you do have computers, it's kind of a little more difficult to use him. But he's just a worse Pink Emperor, not Pink Emperor, Emperor Usapion. He's fine. He can totally work. He's a pretty great yokai. It's just, why would you use him and not Emperor Usapion? So overall, Captain Thunder is a really strong yokai. It's just, he's pretty outclassed in terms of his use, because Emperor Usapion is just way better. Fallback attack is way better than Invincible Stance. Brilliant Barrage is leagues better than Sparking Shock. And Emperor Shot number 1 is just a slightly better version of Shot number 1. And then the Sultimate is weaker, but it does not make up for the rest of the kit being severely outclassed. But he's still good. He's great. If you want to have a little bit of variety, Captain Thunder can be a pretty fun option. And considering that we can just even play as him, I think he's good enough as is. Maybe you could do a little bit of tweaking with him. Maybe make Shot number 1 60 base power, or maybe even just 55. Something just a little bit stronger, so that way he's not just objectively worse. I mean, he is an A rank, so he is like a whole rank lower, but there's really no reason to use him. And like, Rubius J and Hardy Hound, I want to start doing like the big bosses now. It was actually recommended to me in a comment. I forgot who it was, my bad. But I actually want to start doing like some big bosses, because I think it's just neat that we can even play as these things. So overall, I do think that Captain Thunder's pretty cool. It's just Emperor Usapion's way better. So I'm going to do another big boss for the next one. But there's probably going to be some other Blasters video before that. So I hope you look forward to it. And I hope you enjoyed. Get yourself Captain Thunder. Reminder, he's from the Lunar mission. where you need a moonstone to challenge it. And yeah, get this guy because I think he's pretty dang cool.